We'd be sitting here till y'all can thank Danny for the fact that we're anywhere close to on time. We're 5 minutes late. He and I got to fixing things and doing things, and
I wasn't fixing anything. My computer decided that it needed an update.
mm-hmm.
And I go,
updates.
I have a show right now. And the computer goes, no, we're updating. So
your show's getting updated along with the rest of it.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Good to see you.
Yes. Let the audience build for a minute. We did get one question. And for those of you who don't read the down pages on what you're looking at, we're looking for positivity and spiritual practices. That's what we're going to discuss. And this is not just a good vibrations, which Danny and I have also done shows on.
Good vibrations.
But it's about grounded positivity, the kind that grows your awareness, your healing, and helps you in your conscious state. So if you didn't sign up for that, you're in the wrong place.
I need some of that right now.
Well, we need to learn how to stay energetically steady in uncertain times. And we certainly this is a master class in uncertain times. Shifting from reaction to response. And I've got a good story about that. Finding meanings in our challenges. Using intuition, reflection, and perspective to lift our inner climates. And the role of personal responsibility for our own emotional work. So, just saying.
What was that last thing again?
The role of personal responsibility in emotional and spiritual well-being.
Oh, I don't want to read.
Yeah,
I need to take responsibility?
Yeah.
No.
No. Don't call me and say, can you fix my world? No. I can tell you things that might help your world.
I don't want to take responsibility. Did you hear the whininess of my voice when I said that?
I heard that. I've heard it before, Danny.
Thank you, Foggy.
By the way, guys, positivity is not denying what's going on out there. Positivity is seeking your own alignment, seeking your own clarity, and choosing the direction to use your energy in. So it just means don't get swayed by the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we're asking you to come into the garden today and sit and reset your compass. That's why we're here. So we had a person who wrote, if you are subscribed to my channel, you'll always get a post about when my shows are on. And there's also a thing that says, post a comment you might want us to answer. And they're usually the thing I do get to. So this is the comment we got today. What do both of your guides say about how we're doing to raise our vibrations to increase the positivity in our country and the world with all the changes that are occurring? Well, Danny, do you want to take it first? Do you want me to go?
I don't care.
Okay. Well, what I'd say to you, first of all, it doesn't matter what my guides think. They matter to me. You need to be speaking with your own guides. Now, my guides think the more I hear of listening to people talk to each other, the more I'm hearing people talk, let's be positive. Let's not drag our butts down into the dirt. Let's not follow every trashy story we hear. And that makes me feel like people's vibrations are getting higher. So what do you got?
Well, I'm going to take it from a different point of view because she said, how are we, and I'm assuming that is the collective we,
right,
are doing to raise our vibrations. And I would say we are doing lousy at raising our collective vibrations because we are still following the trashy stories. We are still being addicted to the doom scrolling, as somebody mentioned to me, and I love that because it's just going down to this negative hole. And So I would say that we're not doing, maybe it's not lousy, but we're not doing well with this at all. However, what we are doing well in recognizing that we as the collective need to come together in community, and we do that in with smaller groups, like you're doing a tarot class coming up.
Right, on
So,
the 18th. Mhm.
yep, joining those tarot classes. I've got some journeys coming up, jumping into the journeys where we let go of the 3D reality of what other people want us to hear, and we start focusing more on how we want to dream the world into being.
Right. And restructuring your own world. One of the
Yeah.
things that I talked
Oh,
about.
wait a minute. Hang on. I got to stop you there, because that what I really liked what you just said. Restructuring our world, because we for me, and I'll just speak of me. I have my world where after this I go do that, and then at 5 o'clock I do this, and I turn on the TV, blah blah, and that whole thing needs to be restructured, so
Mhm.
that I don't just keep doing things by rote, turning on. I got a habit of turning on Newsmax and Fox. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But yeah, restructuring our world and what we do so it's more positive. Okay, I'll
Okay.
zip it. I'll
Okay.
zip it.
No, that's fine. One of the things that I think is we need to learn how to respond, not react. And the years and years ago, when I was still reading Law
Mm-hmm.
at the Table, I had a young lawyer who came up, and it ends up I knew the law partner he worked for, particularly because he was a big donor, and I used to have to go to their law offices and pick up the check for my candidates. And his boss was an asshole. Sorry, YouTube, but there's not another way to say it about this guy. So anyway, and as soon as he said his name, he saw the look on my face, and I said, "Yeah," and he said, "I can be as prepared. They'll have. I've never been in a law office in a law meeting about a case, right? But there'll be lawyers there, and they'll have each research department because these were big firms doing big, giant cases." And this young man was told to go find all the stuff about this, and that was his job. And he said, invariably, the boss will go around the room. And he said, as soon as he locks his eyes on me, it's like everything I remembered left my head. I just, at these meetings, I just, people watch me fall apart. I'm a trained professional, but I act like a 3-year-old. And I said, well, next time you're going to be called into a meeting, I want you to go and take a quick break, go in the bathroom, hide in the stall, and take 6 deep breaths and blow the air out slowly, and then go in the meeting and see how you feel. And he looked at me and he said, that's crazy. And I said, no, sense. I said, it's actually a proven technique at the University of California in the early 2000s. They studied a lot of people. It changes your lizard brain
Yeah.
from being the reactive brain to being a responsive brain. So he said, I dragged my butt down the hall. He came in 3 weeks later, and I said, you look happier. And he said, well, I dragged myself down the hall to the meeting. I'd done all my work. I went in the bathroom. I did the 6 breaths, walked in the room, and I watched the guy's eyes move around the table to look to the person to start questioning about what they'd found. He looked at me. I looked right back at him, and he went past me, and he went to a guy 2 chairs over. I said, so I got the other poor bastard that doesn't know how to do 60. And so I explained to him the whole thing about it. And just as he was getting up to leave, I said, when are you leaving that practice? And he said, I've already put some feelers out.
Yeah.
So some part of his shadow work was, I need to have daddy come down on me periodically. So hopefully he escaped all that. Never saw me.
Yeah.
we all need to learn how to do that, because if you go in doing nothing, and I'm a great reactor. I mean, it's so much easier than taking responsibility for being a responsive person. And now I'm going to tell you this: do not do deep breaths when you're driving down the highway at 60 miles an hour, because that's when you want to have that reactive part of your brain. I mean, it's not there just to trip us up. It's just we need to understand that we can control our own minds.
Yeah, exactly. And when we get into doing readings and psychic work and journey work, where we go into the unseen realms, you can't jump from 3D to that world without doing, in my opinion, doing some breath work, letting go of the 3D world. And it's the reactive mind that is keeping us in here. So we have to let it go. And so there's a lot of different ways that you can look at breath work. You look at some of the military uses of breath work. They did a big study on it. It just really calms you down. So highly recommend breathing.
Wait a minute. Oops.
Somebody asking for money?
No, my doctor's office, but that's okay. They told me I'm okay. So I'm not going to take this call and find out, oops, that was a mistake. That would be a bummer in the middle of the show.
Yes, it would be.
Oh, and about your diagnosis, do you want to take it on the phone?
Oh, maybe they're really wanting.
Yeah. Hold for Danny. Keep talking.
Okay, I'm going to keep talking for you guys. All right, so I'm looking at Jen Coop's text. She goes, I can't do much in my blood red state. Smile and say hi to everybody. Yeah, and that's true. My hillbilly brother, there is something you can push back a little bit on, but for me, I find that I have to have just one thing that I want to say and not go too deep into it, because they're not ready to hear anything yet. Hopefully that's going to change, but yeah, I tell you what, it's got to be hard. And I find that more and more, maybe, are you done on your phone,
done.
Nancy? Oh, good, you can talk. So I've been finding more and more that the us versus them, and is coming out, and it's like in the beginning, in Trump 1 or Trump, the beginning of 2.0, it was all about owning the libs. And I'm finding that it kind of went away, and now it's resurfacing. And I think it's because they know they're losing their grip. So I think we just need to hang on to it. And as Jen said, just smile. Don't push a lot of buttons, because it's just going to get you. It's going to be reactive. So, yeah, just take a couple of deep breaths, smile, say hi, and they'll go, oh, them dang liberals saying hi and smiling. Pretty soon they're going to go, how do I smile like that? How come all these people are so happy? And that'll be a switch too.
Do you ever watch Saturday Night Live?
Sometimes.
Last Saturday night, they had a mother who came out to her grown children that maybe Trump wasn't always right.
Oh.
And then she's like, and I don't want you to pick on me. And so the kids would have got all hysterical about, oh my God, we've been trying to tell you that since 2015. And you see what the problem is, because if someone does come out and they do say, maybe I made a mistake, instead of saying, about time,
Yeah.
take a different tack and feel, I mean, we've all had things. I have a certain husband I could think of that I thought was really relatively a good person. And the last year, people were going, get out, leave, get out, you know. And when I got out, they were standing there with open arms and giving me a hug and not saying, how could you have stood in there so long?
Yeah.
You know?
Shame on you. Shame, shame. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I see that in, for me, I see some fear in the way people are talking to me, some of my mega friends and family.
Mhm.
And they're backing away. Well, I never did like him. And it's like, okay. And pretty soon the question is going to come up from me, would you still vote for him? And that's kind of like, because this isn't working and it's affecting them. So maybe they wouldn't vote for him. Maybe they would vote for somebody else.
Or they wouldn't vote at all.
Or yeah, and that's a problem too.
I'm sorry, people. That was potential spam. I don't know who that person is. Whoever, if your name is spam, I would change immediately because you will never.
It's probably Junior asking for more money since I heard they're broke.
Junior's broke. Daddy's not broke. Daddy's money is over in Qatar.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we're not supposed to talk about those things. What we're talking about is how can I stay balanced? And we've got some good comments in here. This woman says, I'm watching comedy and listening to music, which is, you know, the more you can laugh and let that energy, the more we can. I find it very hard to find things to really laugh at. So I watch Josh Johnson because I think he's a very thoughtful comedian and I enjoy his humor and I can laugh at his stuff. Other things just throw me back into the pits we're trying to get away from.
Right. So a lot of the, you know, I agree. I've been struggling with a lot of the late night comedians who I still support, but you know, it's the same rehash over and over. So once you hear it, and one of the things that I really appreciate, that I talk a lot on my channel, is Heather Cock Richardson,
Right.
who is very calm, very aware, and gives you a different perspective than normal. It's I don't think she's ever put breaking news up.
She's not a bomb thrower.
No.
And I've told Danny this when this whole mess started. Anything you hear that is going to set your hair on fire, don't set your hair on fire, especially Danny, because that'd be a major forest fire. But give it 48 to 72 hours and see where it is. Because, and I have a friend who said if I had not told her that early on, she would have lost it completely.
Right.
Because and that's why there seems to be a new thing every day. Well, it's because the old thing they know is going away.
Right. Yeah, and there's certain things that aren't going away that shouldn't go away. But anyway, what where was I going to go with Heather? Because there was something that was
she comes.
Oh, I got it. She was saying, and I think that this is really important, and I'm not sure how to phrase this to the people who are shutting off the TV. People who are watching politics now, they're watching about I think she said 4 minutes a week of what is going on in the political world. 4 minutes a week. And I'm like, is that the right amount of time to watch, or should it be a little more? But as soon as I think it needs to be a little more. And I normally read versus watch.
Yeah.
But as soon as I start reading the same or seeing the same story, I can't watch it. I got the information once. And if you get it from a trusted source, somebody that you trust, then that's it. You don't need to keep rehashing it, because that brings me way down into the pits and into the rabbit hole.
Okay. And hi, Dr. Gail. I see you hanging out there in the.
Hey, Gail.
She landed her spaceship and came to visit us.
Yay. Take us away, Gail.
And
Expand that ship.
we got this comment from Frogyog, and I think that's how we say it. And thank you for your donation, dear. I always told my massage clients, I can't make you relax, but I'm a great vehicle for you to relax. And that's true. You know, you can't, and that goes back to the opening statement. How do my guides view how the world is arranging? If you really believe in quantum theory, and now everybody really is turning their computers off, she's going to talk about quantum stuff. But if you really believe that reality is walking up to you, it has to be what walks up to you. It could walk up to me and my guides all day long.
Wait a minute. Stop. Now, okay. What did you just say? Reality walks up to you?
Yes.
Explain it, please.
Okay. In quantum physics, they say we pull in our own reality. So we have to let the screen down so the reality can come up to us.
Okay. And how do we pull that in?
Energetically, by being open.
Oh, okay. Is there...
And there can be two out there. There can be the good thing that's going to come in and the bad thing that's going to come in. Where are we going to let our shields down and what are we going to let in?
So there can be more than two as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So when we let our shields down, then a reality can come in. Is it any reality that can come in? Can it be shadow realities, dark stuff?
It's the reality that is connected to your mental. It's the reality that's connected to your energy that's going out into the universe.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Like, if you absolutely positively could never imagine something was going to happen, it could happen right in front of you and you absolutely positively will not be able to imagine it happens.
Yeah, you won't see it.
Right. But then there's also, if you live in a general world, this is kind of off the subject a teeny bit, but I watched a show and it can't remember the name of it, but it's a podcast and it's these people and they talk about something after dark and they're in England and they were interviewing Irving Finkel. And Danny, don't fall asleep on me yet. Irving
Finkel.
Do you know who he is? He looks like Gandalf. He's got a long white beard and he's the guy who's curator of the cuneiform and all of that stuff for the Mesopotamian Babylonian exhibits in the British Museum.
Okay.
He's also one of the first people to get a degree in that subject. And he was saying that he's read all of the cuneiform tablets they have, and some of them are like shopping lists, and some of them are like what people are talking about, what's going on in their world. Babylonians believed in spirits, sprites, fairies, ghosts, all the things that we're bringing into our world now. We have to raise our vibration up to bring them. In their world, they believed in them. And it was considered wrong to tell your child they didn't see grandma in the living room 3 days after she died. That's wrong. That was part of being human, was to interact with all this stuff. And their lawyers, not only were their lawyers, but their lawyers were exorcists because they not only were there to help you get rid of the evil people in your life or the good ones, whatever you want to do, but they were also there to it's in their law code. This is what you do if a person is having this kind of spiritual experience.
Mm-hmm.
And they believed in bringing that spiritual experience in. It's not until we get to monotheism and science really hits. He blames science. He said when science really hit the world and said it has to be proved this way, it has to be proved with these physical principles, Newtonian physics, that we got lost and we wandered off. And And then the church got complete charge of spiritual stuff, and anything the church didn't want you to see, they'd say, oh, it's not there.
Yeah.
So it was fascinating. Anyway, what I'm saying is part of what we recognize in this life is what our society tells us to. So you and I could fall back into the Babylonian times and they'd think, oh, they're just normal.
Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that we are shifting as a community. We are
Mm-hmm.
shifting back into those awarenesses.
Mm-hmm.
If who's ever watching us knows that we believe that there are spirits, there are elves, there are hidden folks, there are elementals that we can talk to and communicate with. And yeah, we would have, and I was told not to do that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
They said, I can't do that. Shame on you.
It's not there. And they filled you with shame. And that's what shadow work's about. That's one of the things Jeffrey and I are going to be talking about in teaching tarot. We're going to use a book of shadow work stuff that Jeffrey came up with, so you can work quietly and privately on what things that you find important and
Yeah.
that you want to deal with.
There's, yeah, I think it's important, to look at this quietly and
Mm-hmm.
in your own space. However, there is value with a trusted reader to go
Oh, yeah.
into this, because they will see. I can look at myself and I'm like, I'm not taking responsibility for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't own that. Somebody else, if I trust them, and here that's the key there, to be gentle and truthful, because there's a difference, and just say, you need to look at this a little harder, because you may not be looking at it, but I do. I see
Mm-hmm.
it in the cards, and I go, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's valuable to have both of those aspects going on.
Right. Here's a comment like, I've made it a habit to say thank you throughout the day. When I look in the mirror, I say, I love you. I also do breathing, and all those things make a difference.
Huge,
Huge.
huge, huge, huge. It's yeah, it's we how many times, I've been doing this practice a little bit similar to what Barbara was saying, and but the first thing that I do when I wake up, um, it depends on who's awake with me, though. If it's the dog, then I kick him off the bed. No, I'm kidding. I don't. But when I first wake up, I say good morning to my guides,
Mm-hmm.
angels, and then my wife goes, "Who you talking to?" And then I say good morning to her, and then at night the
Sure.
same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I'm sure she appreciates being acknowledged in this conversation.
Oh, she does. Yeah. And but during the day, there's times where I just forget,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that it's super important to remind ourselves during the day to find those quiet times when we're real busy. We got a lot of stuff going on. Just
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds just to drop into that space would be awesome.
Okay. And
And
here somebody said, I can't do much in my red state, but I purposefully smile.
mhm.
Red states are changing, Jen. There was staying out of politics. I purposely smile and say hi to everyone I meet when I go out. It's uplifting to see the reaction of the people. Some people never have someone say something nice to them, and I found when I dyed my hair purple and people started complimenting me on it, nobody, I mean, if they don't like it, they kind of look away, and that's fine because I didn't do it for them. But I found I had a real hard time when I first dyed my hair purple to when people would come up and want to compliment me on it, because I'd been trained to say, oh, that old, da da da. Well, you can't say I didn't know my hair was purple.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that when I tell people, when I dyed my hair blonde, I got people coming up. And
this was in your younger days before we knew.
No, just recently.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Danny.
Hey, the Archangel Channel's here. She embodies the Hermit card. Yeah. Yeah.
I did a 12-month reading today, and the person got the Hermit card and in a couple ways on their chart, but they also got the sun and the star in 1 month.
Ooh.
I know. That's going to be a great month.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And let's see. There was a lady in here. I want to acknowledge what she said. I mean, she asked us, her roof. She had a roof leak, and she's had it for months, and she's been stressing on it. And she could never get roof people to come out and look at it to fix it. And she knew what it was. It's this 6-inch piece of flashing. So I suggested her she contact. I don't know who she got the help through. But I told her to call the senior citizen centers, because there's a lot of them that know tradesmen that they trust that they'll send out to work with senior citizens.
Good idea.
And it worked. Sandra now has a whole roof.
Woohoo! Woo! So it's interesting. I have a bunch of stuff that needs to happen around the house. And during the last rains, we had a leak. That one of our valleys in the pitch of the roof got filled up with leaves, and the way our roof is. Anyway, calling up roofers and not getting any response, nobody calling. So I had the same issue. And one of the things that I did, and I keep forgetting to do this, is I asked my guides, I asked my angels to help. Hey, I know it's just a leak, it's a roof, it's not like big world issues, but can you help me find my keys? Can you help me do, fix the roof? When I asked for that, I got 3 different jobs around my house worked on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you want some work around your house? Boom, 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 boom. It just all lined up. It made my head spin almost.
Yeah, well, I used to run a small repair company and interior stuff, and I did high-end faux finishes and stuff with my husband. We ran it for 20 years, and we took small jobs because big companies can't take teeny tiny jobs. It's not with the overhead they carry. We were just us. And I had a woman call me up 6 months after we'd gone out of business. I'd gone back to become an executive director of something, and my husband was retired. Danny and I are just busy little bees today, aren't we?
Jeez. You want to talk to my hillbilly brother?
No.
Okay.
Not really. Put the nurse on from the clinic too. She go, huh? But anyway, we used to take the small jobs, and people were calling forever saying, do you know somebody else will come in and do this? I mean, we made a good living at it, but we did have a chance at one point to grow the company and bring other people in, and we didn't do it that way. We just kept it stuff we could handle and things we could help them with. And I know how hard it is, because that's why I knew about the senior centers helping people, because they used to call us and say, can you go over and just look at this and see if it's what they think it is, And there's always time if you care about your community to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the more you can smile, the happier you're going to be. Because there's somebody who said, I find myself smiling more. It's wonderful just to be grateful. And that's how you break out of the habit of the whole world's a horrible place. make that little space in front of you okay, and then it grows out.
All right, I know you're getting tired of hearing about my hillbilly brother, but he had this thing, and he goes, when the world was just dumping on him, and he was going, oh my gosh, how am I going to get out of this? He came up with this thing. He stick his hands in his pocket so he couldn't do any work.
Mm-hmm.
Hands in his pocket. He would look up to God
Mm-hmm.
and just give the biggest smile he could. And he goes, for like as long as I could hold it. Now, these days, if I would do that, I'd probably fall over.
Mm-hmm.
But it would change your outlook because you're looking so silly. And so even though the world is dumping on you, you're looking so silly with your hands in your pocket, looking up to God, smiling. It just changed your point of view for a little bit. And probably for half a day.
Yep.
Anyway, there you go.
Other suggestions, people?
Hillbilly happiness.
Hillbilly happiness. Whatever works. I do puzzles similar to meditation. Helps me not watch the news. And she walks in peace, and that's good.
Yeah.
And we had another one up here that watching Beatles movies. Oh, I love to watch Beatles movies, but they remind me I was 14 when they came out. So reminds me of a younger me.
Were you one of those girls screaming?
Oh, yeah. I went to their first concert. I saw them 3 times live. And the first one, it was in the cattle yards, in the stadium in the cattle yards in Chicago. I couldn't hear for 2 days. I mean, it's like anything I've ever been in my life. Totally different sort of uplifting. Kind of like we all expressed what we thought and we got carried away. And then she watches Gaia, and I do a lot of watching shows about myths, goddesses, goddesses, and all that stuff. Where'd that come from?
I have control over your
that's
screen.
true. Danny, that's right. I forget Danny can do this too.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. See, it's a technique that psych practitioners teach. It changes the brain chemistry when you look. All right. There you go. And you got a little exclamation point. Both Nancy and I are giving exclamation points to all of our comments, all of your comments. So thank you for the comments.
That's my son. My son is touring Texas right now.
Oh yeah. We're not talking politics, but
yeah, it's hard when you talk about my oldest son to not talk politics because what he does.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And
working for the amazing, can I say it?
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine Crockett.
Mm-hmm. SNL skit was very important. The one I talked about the mother that's confessing to her kids. It's really a lesson for any of us who think we're going to have to face that with someone. Trust me, no one in my life would dare say they support what I don't. I mean, and then that horrible that I'm that mean. But anyway, but I don't have those kind of people in my life much anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of us have. We've lost so many. Well, speaking for me, I've lost so many friends from that, and I never would think that they were evil or mean or cruel people. They're. I don't want to judge them, but but I don't want to judge them, but they're wrong. No, it's just sad because of the history or whatever, and I don't know. I would love to have them get on the same wavelength as me, but maybe my wavelength isn't. I don't know. This is just a whole big. It opens up so much stuff for me that, as a pacifist, as somebody who doesn't want to judge and who wants to say, let's just all be interconnected with everything. It's challenging. How do I be connected to that energy? And I can't reconcile it. So, I think we're all struggling with this too.
We have a foreigner in our midst. She's from Gibson's, British Columbia.
Oh, hello,
Yes, love and
Canada.
patience. This too shall pass. Be patient and prepare for the next steps. And that's really the best thing you can do. And she's got a perspective of being on the other side of the border, watching this. And I talked to my cousin that's on the other side of the border, who keeps saying, when are you going to move up here? I have dual citizenship. I could have citizenship in Ireland for that matter.
Yeah, I think I could too. I think. I haven't looked into it, but.
Were your grandparents born in Ireland?
Great grandparents.
Nope, gotta be your grandparents. Unless they've changed the rules again. They changed some of them. But Danny and I are moving nowhere. We have enough trouble keeping the time zones between Central Time and
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
And I'm trying to go through these things. And oh, your little bro is like Foggy Og's neighbor.
What's that?
Your little bro is like their neighbor. Your little, when you talk about your brother.
Oh, well, you got to be careful because my little brother is the bad Buddhist, and my big brother
right.
is the hillbilly.
Yes, and
I mean we're all hillbillies too because we all come from the Ozarks.
I said to someone in a reading, and we were talking about Buddhism. I said, "Oh, Danny's brother's a Buddhist," and she went, "Danny Shay's brother's a Buddhist," and then she had them all mixed up in her head because
So my brother Bill, he goes up to Shasta with us, and he also does some retreats. He is great with grounding and breathing. He does some amazing breathing techniques to let go of things. Yeah,
they're good at that stuff.
Yeah. He's a good walker too. Maybe he should join the Buddhists monks, except he's a priest.
Oh,
he's not a monk, he's a priest. And I've tried to get the definition, and
I have enough trouble in the churches just getting Protestant and Catholics straightened out. So
yeah. Well, he works for a hospital system, so as a chaplain, and I think they want him to be a priest or something.
It sounds bureaucratic to me.
Yeah, it is.
Here's somebody who had ADHD, and then she found out that later the whole family talked behind her back about her idiosyncrasies and her ADHD as a child. I didn't even know it until after they died, and I feel betrayed. That's awful, because that's the kind of stuff you can't go back and say, "What'd you say, you SOB?"
Yeah. And it just hangs there, right? And it's like it's so unresolved. And so some of the things that when you were doing shadow work, I took a course recently from Alberto Villoldo, and when you're working in these doing some journey work, you can actually travel back in time to address that in your shadow work, in healing the dark side. And because as you were talking about the quantum field, it's the same thing. You just step back in there, change it. That heals your inner child, your present, and your future selves if you fix it or heal it.
Yep. That's my tarot class. I'll be teaching with Jeffrey starting February 18th. That's our target date. We move it around. We move those things around a bit. And we're going to be doing readings. We're going to teach people how to read tarot. And then we're going to be using a book that Jeffrey created Jeffrey did called Shadow Work Tarot Workbook, and so you can use your cards as you're learning how to use your cards. You can do some shadow work. So that's for people who are interested in doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And getting a lot of good suggestions. Oh, okay. There's somebody explaining it to you, someone who knows more about Buddhists than we do. A priest ministers to parishioners' people. Monks dedicate themselves to contemplation. That would make sense, Danny.
Okay. Yeah.
Your brother works in a hospital environment.
Yeah.
Did I tell you when I was laid up in the hospital how desperate I was last June? They said, "Would you like the chaplain to come see you?" And I mean, I'm in a southern hospital, right?
Oh boy.
So he came in, and I told him straight out, I said, I'm a psychic medium. I work in those realms, but I'm a Christian also, and da-da-da. And he goes, okay. But anyway, I ended up counseling him about staying on as a chaplain instead of
Yeah. Was he open to it?
Yeah, but he did. He looked like every stereotypical picture of a young guy just out of the very conservative Bible church, skinny. I mean, it's like his neck came out of his collar, and it was like this big collar, and it just
in Texas.
Oh yeah, they get fat when they get churches. They don't.
Okay.
When they're young, they're skinny.
Because I'm telling you what, those barbecue stands in Texas. Oh my gosh, you can't stop eating that stuff.
Oh, I know.
I'm one for street food. I love it. My wife will go, "You can't eat that crap. You know what's in it? It's got this and that." And I go, No. It's street food. You don't want to look at the ingredients.
You're not eating it because you're a health nut. Although, did you see that Coca-Cola is going to bring over a product that they've been selling in Japan, where they mix protein and fiber into their Cokes?
Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to go get a case of that.
Mm-hmm.
Little cellulose in me and...
Yeah, some artificial protein. Yeah, I don't know. It's really going to do me a lot of good.
Where does that fall in on the new food pyramid?
It's at the top. That's why they did it. That's why they developed the drink in the first place, was so they can, Barbara's like, I'll pass on the Cokes.
No, it says ill pass.
No, I know.
Ill.
She's, yeah, I'd be ill too.
She drinks that, she'll be ill. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I mean, when it first came out, it was full of cocaine.
Well, I know. Now that I might go out and get a drink from.
But, you know what they say, cocaine don't make you crazy. Cocaine don't make you lazy.
Mm-mm.
It ain't nobody's business but my own. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, I just finished reading a medieval mystery based on a real person from the 1200s in England, and she ends up in an opium den. At the end, the author explains to you, and there were opium dens. They came out of Kandahar, and they came back with the Crusaders, brought it back with them.
Oh.
I'm like, oh my God. And of course it was legal. So there wasn't anything illegal about it, but it sounded like every description I've ever heard of what opium dens are like. Speaking of delusional behavior.
Yeah, it looks like, okay.
I would not suggest doing that to escape your current sets of anxieties.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Are there any opium dens in the United States?
I'm sure there are.
I guess, where would they be? In San Francisco, or where would they be?
Probably in Highland Park, Texas.
Okay.
Right near me, in the $1 million mansions, and somebody's back. Their kids are back there.
In an ADU? They set up an ADU for an opium den?
I don't know. They probably, those houses are so big, they have a room no one else goes to.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching this TV show the other day, just to let it go, and there was this one guy who was addicted to smoking opium, and I don't know how that guy functioned, and he had a very high, powerful position in the show, and he commanded a lot of people on a ship, and he was all stoned on opium. I'm going, how do they follow this guy? I don't know how he functioned, because he looked like he was way out of it, and they would show these opium dens. So
Well,
it's interesting that you brought this up right now, because I don't think I've ever thought of opium dens until like this week.
you don't read Sherlock Holmes because he's always ending up tracing people down into opium. That was a big thing in Victorian England. And those are the ones that I've seen in movies where they're, the doorman, some giant Asian who, and they're letting people in, and all the people are totally disparate and out of it. Well, Sherlock Holmes was supposed to be using cocaine.
Yeah.
And that's what the story, the 7% solution's about. Boy, are we talking about weird things that have.
How did we talk? Yeah. How did we get into talking about
positivity? Well, we're talking about things we use. We're talking about things we use to divert ourselves from. And you can't be serious. I could not read Tarot all day long. I could not spit out questions all day long and think, I would, you got to go find escapism where you can. Not all the time. It's not that that's a pursuit of that. It's just, okay. It's temperance, Danny. It's a balance.
It's a balance. Absolutely. Absolutely. I still won't balance opium with cocaine, or because anyway.
Well, anything
we'll get away with that. We'll get away from that. But there is things, plant medicines that put you in an altered state so that you can come to a realization of a higher purpose or whatever that is. And I know that there are a lot of people who are who have done that and do that, but that's way different, plant medicines. But I think that it's getting too common practice. Is that right? Where
it's becoming accepted.
Where it's I saw a show where Will Smith goes, yeah, I did plant medicine 12 times. And I'm going, 12 times? I go,
slow learner.
Yeah. And then he slapped that guy in the Oscars. Yeah. And I'm going, maybe you need to take it again. But anyway, it's I am not for drug escapism at all.
No.
At all.
No.
Yeah. So
that's the end of that. You won't get that. Will not get positive things from us.
No. That'd be more negative stuff. Because you got a little brief, and then the rest is not good. So.
Well, and I don't understand if you've ever studied where all those the most common one, where it comes from. They have to take the parts of plants from 5 different plants and then get them all balanced out right. And they know what they're doing because they live out with this stuff. Well, who taught them how to do that? I mean, I can't imagine running through my garden, grabbing 5 things, mixing them together, smoking it, and saying, this is good.
Yeah. No, that would be bad. That would be.
Okay, here's my stuff. Chocolate in low quantities. I eat a high percentage chocolate every night. I have 2 squares, and it helps me sleep better.
High percentage meaning?
above 85%.
Above 85%. You know, and once you get used to that 80 to 85%,
Mm-hmm.
it's so much better
Oh,
than,
when you go back to the other kind of chocolate,
oh,
it's like, oh, but I eat so I can't, I don't eat, I'm not a sweet eater. And that's weird because I was a chef's apprentice in a pastry kitchen. I can make every pastry, every sweet thing, all those things you see laid out in the cooking shows. I know how to do all of them. I don't like any of them.
yeah.
And it was good. I mean, and trust me, when you make 1,000 of anything, you're not going to do it for the quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody says she likes cacao. Yes.
Cacao. There
Cacao.
was a, yeah. Yeah. I
Well,
was not a big chocolate person,
person.
and
Mhm.
so my wife hooked me on it, and now it's like, where's my chocolate?
Well, folks, we're all giving each other great medical advice in the chat about putting uh, stuff under our tongues and then sipping our coffee and fixing osteoarthritis and all that good stuff. But basically, Danny and I want to tell you is there are other ways to pursue your spiritual challenge. You can pursue your spiritual life and your growth on your own. You can do it. God help it. If you're going to piece it together from shows like this, you're in all kinds of trouble. But to reach Danny, since he now has
Oh, I have
a
a
website, he's got a beautiful website.
website.
I know I need to clean my website up, but I'm just not up to that at this point today. So that's Danny's website going across. And then, to go to crystaldirections.com and look us up. And Jeffrey and I are starting a class on the 18th. And if you're interested, just email me if you have a question about the class or how it's structured or what we do. If you can't make every class, we tape everything and you get to see it one way or the other. I will hope we can get enough people in there to make it fun. And you will learn. You will learn.
You will learn. Yeah.
And don't. Anyway.
Thank you, Foggy.
Okay. Yeah, Foggy, you can come anytime because you got lots of good comments. Everybody has good comments. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear from Barbara. Glad to hear from Catherine. Glad Dr. Gail made her fly through.
Always good. Yes.
Yes. So, and with that, I will say adios and goodbye.
Adios.